We got a question here from YouTube. Matthew says, "What team do you think will be the most surprising to make it to the national meet?"
Most surprising. Um, that's a good question. Let me bring up my sheet so I can kind of visualize and kind of point out where I think. On the men's side, most surprising, I could see. I don't know. It's gonna be hard to get a surprise. If I had to guess,
How
there'll
about
be any surprise. I
I
mean,
was
what's
going to
the
say, how about
definition of surprise?
based on the beginning of the year? Maybe not based on your rankings now, but based on at the beginning of the year, what's a team that could make it that probably wasn't ranked or wasn't in the picture preseason?
Well, I'd like to think that I do a really good job at my preseason. That everyone I rank in the preseason, I know for sure they're still going to be relevant 2 months later. Um,
We know that's
I don't
wrong.
know. I guess like a Minnesota men that what people weren't really thinking about the Minnesota men that making it. I think maybe you have like an upset in the Mid Atlantic and Navy finds a way to sneak in. Um, yeah, I'm not really. Everyone is kind of like there's not really. I mean, yes, there's always like that random team like a Bradley makes it one year
Yeah.
or a Middle Tennessee State or some team we weren't thinking about gets in. I mean, I think the ultimate craziness would be if like a Virginia finally gets their shit together and they run out of their mind at the Southeast region because preseason I had Virginia as a top 20 team and now they're ranked like 10th in their own regional because they just haven't been running well, probably due to injuries. Their top freshman, Nathan Mountain, hasn't been running too well. So maybe Virginia's the surprise team. But then again, if they didn't make it, it would be like, well, we expected it. It's just we kind of stopped expecting it. On the women's side, I think a Liberty making the meet or Abilene Christian or a Connecticut or a Illinois or a Tennessee, any of those teams making it, I think will be a surprise because I mean, who had Liberty on their
Hmm.
at large pool in September or Abilene Christian making it out of the South Central over Texas? So those would be my surprise teams. But yeah, I'm excited for Friday. So I think the plan is we're going to go live at 2 p.m. and
Hmm.
that's going to be after all the regionals are basically complete, and then we'll reveal the final selections. But on Twitter, I plan on kind of tweeting out like hourly updates of where the Colas calculator is at, so people can kind of
Hmm.
get excited. Say, oh, it looks like I'm a bubble team. Like I'll be tweeting out like the bubble teams after the first regional, the new bubble teams after the second regional, and
Yeah,
so getting people excited for the 2 p.m. show.
I like it. I like it. We got one more question here. It says from Kurt, if the Michigan women do not finish top two at Great Lakes, will they make it in?
Yes, they'll make it in. There's enough depth
Done.
in the Great Lakes that someone's going to push them in. So yeah, they'll be fine. Right now, I'm projecting 6 teams qualifying in the women's Great Lakes. So now, if they finish like sixth, I don't know, fifth, maybe a stretch, but if they finish top four, they should be fine.
So earlier in the year, you had every team from the mountain basically making it on the women's side, and now you've backed off that.
Yeah, yes, I backed off that, but there could easily be a wave of mountain teams all getting in. Because even though I only have 5 mountain teams getting in,
Yeah.
there are teams like Colorado State and Utah State that have good wins, but they're just being blocked right now. And I had a situation where a Toledo got pushed in the Great Lakes. Gonzaga gets pushed in the West. That takes up 2 extra spots. So that kind of took away from Mountain's run. So
Yeah.
there's like a scenario where Mountain gets 8, and there's a scenario where Mountain gets 5. And so
Oh wow.
we don't know which one we're going to get, but we're going to get one of the two. It's either going to be 5 or 8. We're not going to get a mountain with 4. We're not going to get a mountain with 6. gonna be 5 or 8. So if you're not in the mountain region, you're hoping it's 5 because then you have 3 extra
5, yeah.
spots.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you have more questions on NCAA cross before the regionals, tweet him to Gordon at his personal account at Gordon Mack. He will be. He's on Twitter